Welcome everyone to Hacking Infinity. This is a Eshkaton playtest. Uh, with me today are Jacob and Leo, and uh, I think we're gonna make new characters and start all over again. Yes, sound
I
like
believe so.
okay. Uh, so once again, the options, at least the ones that I have ready, are the citizen, uh, the regional intelligence agent, and the composition. Um, and while in most Power by the Apocalypse games, uh, you shouldn't double up, I think if you double up on citizen, it'll be just fine, but probably not the others.
Because they kind of step on each other's toes a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going citizen. And so far, the character is named Triomedes Aurelius.
Nice.
Um, he is a man with a humanoid body and piercing eyes and long flowing clothes. I'm going for kind of like a neo-Roman kind of aesthetic with
Cool.
his world.
Cool.
So it's kind
Yeah.
of like he he is a brutal. He rules his world brutally. So he has barbaric control.
Okay.
Hmm. He has barbaric control because he is the emperor of his world. He is somewhat of an old man, so he's not tremendously badass, but he is focused, suave, and somewhat synthetic.
Okay. Well, being being old in you know Eshkatan society would be sort of especially as a citizen, would be sort of an aesthetic choice.
Well,
Like,
that's kind of what he's going for. He's
okay.
going for like a look like Cato the Elder kind of a thing. So he is like withered and old and has like Roman imperator robes and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah. It's worth it for the gravitas.
Yeah, I think that part of the reason why he has this world is that he wants to like kind of partially simulate what it's like his hobby to simulate like what this society would be like kind of a thing. So like the whole thing is like this enormous role play for him.
Cool. Okay. Uh, and go ahead and use character one to like fill them out.
Yeah, doing that right now.
Okay. Leo, Did you know what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I would like to try the. I'm gonna try the multi-form. So I can't. I'm going to take over the. I'm going to remove the canticle and just make another one if that's okay.
That's fine.
Um, I think I'm going to go with like the animal aspect of it, as in basically like ants in a way,
Okay.
an ant type hive mind sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to go with the being ant-like or insect-like. I will go with the queen as like the boss of everybody, and the males, or there's only like drones and stuff like that that can produce the eggs or hatch the eggs, and just like insects. Um, I am going to go with the stats where we're just kind of like not focused on any particular thing, but we're like good at a lot of stuff. So I'm going to get the +1 focus, 0 suave, badass +1, synthesis +1.
Makes sense.
Mhm. So, and I'll work on.
Okay.
I just call it
So,
the
actually,
mind.
rather than changing around Canticle, why don't I just
Oh, give me a new
pull
one.
up a new one? Yeah.
All right. So
Uh, uh, that. I don't remember if there's anything at the. Okay. Uh, so the character 2 should have everything, and feel free to edit it. And if I
okay.
missed anything in my copy pasta, uh,
Cool.
I'll deal with it. Okay. I see that I didn't update the. I didn't change the fill in a value for the right at the end. There's a thing about uh, you're holding having uh, modern luxuries found in core worlds valued at X to X rep. I didn't update that, but
Mm.
Hmm.
uh, mostly because while I did add like a basic gear system, it doesn't really cover like in place luxuries yet.
Okay.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
and
okay. Because I chose luxuries as one of my things. Should I not do that then?
no, that's fine. Um, it'll just be defined more loosely.
I can kind of just be like, I can do the roll fortune thing and be like, I have luxury thing
Yes.
that I'm coming up with at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, with it loosely defined, it probably means that you have facilities um, to hop into a new body if you get killed, or change bodies um, that are right there on planet, uh, and you know uh, probably in any sort of like uh, aesthetic thing, uh, you probably just have access to. So
hmm
anything lifestyle within reason. Uh, oh, so before I close it, I saw that you for Canonical you had the your picture was like the one cool thing from that movie that I'm blanking on the name.
Interstellar.
Interstellar. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the weird interstellar robot.
Yeah.
Except many, many, many of them.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions at this point?
No, I'm just working on it.
Yep, just putting this guy together.
Okay. Uh, one thing to note on your citizen, uh, you'll be you'll have let me look it up. Uh, since I did add the gear system, I have starting rep and that I didn't transfer over yet for a yours is 3.
I have 3 starting rep. Okay. And where's the gear list that I can do that thing with?
Okay. Um. So, uh, uh, the easy way is just to make a link to it. Yeah, it's on Google Docs. I don't have it on as a handout yet.
Also, wants are outlined, but not surpluses.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it'd just be you'd just be choosing from the surpluses surpluses in Apocalypse World Second Edition. Plus, there's also have like one custom one.
Okay.
Uh, Buried somewhere in the design doc.
Um,
Oh yes, okay. So in let me let
do,
me
do we still?
I'm gonna post the other wants in chat or other surpluses in chat.
Sure thing.
You know, I don't have bonds on my character.
Ah, okay.
I'm assuming that's important.
Yeah. Oh, actually, before I add that, go ahead and save your character.
It is safe.
Okay.
Should be, anyways.
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't overwrite anything.
Mm-hmm.
And correctly, oh, it did. Okay, good. Except now it canceled out. Sorry.
It's okay.
Try this one more time. These sliders. Make sure that nothing crazy happened. Nope. Okay. Cool. That should be on there now. And you just have to choose one bond since there's only 2 players.
Okay. I'm still picking my surpluses. Just one sec.
And, so
And citizens are like, he's playing multiple people, right? As a citizen, or is he playing one person?
Just one person, but I'm in control of many, many people.
Okay.
Like the leader of a civilization kind of a thing.
And Leo, your character's name is the Mind.
The mind? Unless you can think of a better one. That's working. Because they communicate by they're like, because they're unified. All bodies share a single mind and personality.
Okay.
So I figured that was a working title.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a cool name, but it's escaping me right now.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Typhonian Hive. Maybe I don't know. That's okay. That's
I was trying to think of what would they call themselves though.
yeah.
Like obviously there'd be a name that they'd be called by everybody else, but what would they call themselves?
Well,
And then
it it
yeah, there's
it
like
could be uh, it could be something that like translates to a like a single concept like harmony or wisdom or
right.
yeah.
Sounds good. Let's try.
Um, or it could just choose a full name using the uh, old format it, assuming I can find that from the format from the golden age.
Maybe like the Formatic Conclave or something like that,
Yeah.
because they're like ants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. So page deigns to come up. Uh, it's a little bit uninclined to do. There it goes. Oh, so did you plan to uh, does your hive mind have like your own world, or is it spread out on several, or okay, so you took uh, your own planetary body, Leo?
What's that? Let's see here. Well, I'm assuming we're actual ants and stuff like that. So I picked our holdings as yeah, you have control of a planetary body
Okay.
from and it can have minimal infrastructure or no atmosphere. So we just kind of live there.
Okay.
So um,
Uh, so uh, if you're using the like the naming conventions that like society the old naming conventions that society uses, then it would be like a first name that might be like harmony or wisdom, and then uh, uh, something that indicates whether or not you're like the original copy or there's uh, various other copies of you. It sounds like there's just the one copy that's a hive mind, so like Harmony Prime, and then uh, the name of your house, which would probably just be the name of the planet.
Right.
Um, and then you go on to phenotype, which you could either uh, use like the Latin name uh, for ants would need to be Googled, uh, or there is uh, like a canon race that is pretty much what you're talking about, called the Tclickton. Uh, so
Okay.
it would if you went with Harmony, and obviously you could pick something else. Um, let's say the uh,
I'll say we're Zrex. There we go.
okay.
Or Zrex, whatever that is. I just put down. I don't know how to say that though.
Okay.
Look, I was doing meme generator. I thought that looked cool, so.
Um, it looks sort of like that.
Mm-hmm. Zrex, okay.
I'm not sure if that's how you wanted to spell it or not.
That's fine.
Okay.
Zrex, and I'm Harmony. Harmony Prime.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I see. I didn't see the.
That's
I
okay.
didn't. Yeah, I mean, by all means, spell it that way.
No, no, no. Zer. I already changed it. That's the
Okay.
Zer.
Move these
It's
out of the way.
Zrex. There we go. Zrex. Harmony Prime. There we go. So they refer to themselves as Harmony or Harmony Prime. Yeah, the queen, probably the queen or the head of the hive. Probably reserves them as Harmony Prime. But they call themselves Harmony, and then people call them Zrex. Or yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good. All right, so my bond is going to be um, I had a relationship with is that Dormius? How do you say your name?
Triomedes Aurelius.
Triomedes. Okay. It used to be close to you, but we aren't anymore. You define the relationship, and I'll describe how it is.
I think the Triomedes maybe saw you as kind of like a burgeoning like being and tried to like place himself in a mentorship position. Like he sees himself as like very much a like this ancient kind of mentor. He's somewhat egotistical in thinking this, but he sees himself as like this large mentor figure, right? Like a great orator and mind.
And I think, yeah, we enjoyed your company, and we like, for lack of a better term, I mean, not too many people are friendly with us because of the way we look. And the Queen was interested in your people as well as you're probably interested in teaching us. But after a while, we just kind of had following out. We realized, um, you weren't good for the hive. That was like an insect line. We just like it wasn't like we hated you. We just like he brings nothing to the hive. He's not gonna. He doesn't bring harmony to us. So we should no longer communicate with them, or like we should no longer associate ourselves with them anymore.
Because like he runs a republic, right?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily very helpful for a large insectoid hive mind.
Right.
And like prattling on about like the needs of the state and whatnot is probably not very effective.
Right.
Okay, and so I think since we used to be close, I think that you betrayed me.
We betrayed you. Ooh.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't. I'm not necessarily aware of this, but you tell me what you did. Like I don't even. I kind of like the idea that he doesn't even know exactly that you've betrayed him.
Okay.
Or another cool thing would be like a secret about me that would make things rather difficult to reveal.
Right. I think the betrayal will probably work under the guise of the. I think we. And you said you didn't want to know about it, so basically, um, what we did betray you is like you were telling us about some type of secret cache and maybe food or something or other, and you were going to keep it away from certain individuals or something that we needed, like some food or something that was just like mundane that you didn't think about, like a store of large amounts of grain or large amounts of byproduct that we were wanting to get a hold of. And you're like, no, I need to save it for the Republic. And we're like, but yes, we need it for us. And I think we found out where that was and we like stole it. And so
Okay.
now, yeah. So now maybe you have like some kind of crisis in your land now because we've taken basically your food storage away from you.
Okay.
That sound right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, is it that you're aware that the food is gone, but don't know how it disappeared, or is it like reserves that have been stocked away somewhere, and you're not even aware that they're gone?
Oh no, I think that like he would not not know that he wouldn't not keep track of these kinds of things, but he has like 100,000 denizens in his population, and it is basically the Roman Republic. So there's lots of people that could have taken that stuff.
Okay.
Like there's plenty.
Okay. Cool. Uh, so Uh,
Yeah, because we stole something that's useful to everybody. Right.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yeah, you stole all our futuristic like Nutrigrain, Hypergrain.
okay. Uh, have you guys picked body tags?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So should we just do a quick run over of our characters just to be like, hey, this is what we got?
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that before we go into uh, what is it?
The first
The
act per se.
yeah, play start stuff.
Okay. So my character is Triomedes Aurelius. He is a man. He is male. He is humanoid. He has cold, piercing eyes. He has a long, kind of Roman flowing garb, as do many of his subjects. He has barbaric control of his world because he is emperor in a republic. He has one focus, two suave, -1 badass, and +1 synthesis. Um, my world is on a special site, and I think that that special site is essentially like an alien Parthenon that he has co-opted to be like the capital of his empire,
Okay.
where his senate meets and they hold debates, and like it is the both the physical and metaphorical seat of his power. The environmental challenge that the world has is that it has an extremely dangerous flora and fauna,
Always
so it
fun.
is essentially death world. He has a large population between 5,000 and 100,000 citizens. I'm going to take like the large side of like 100,000 citizens. So the idea is that on the world, the major population center is like Rome,
Mhm.
and it like that is like it's a big city, and that's where everybody on the planet lives pretty much because you can't live anywhere else because things are going to kill you. It being Rome, though, he has a number of modern luxuries. I can specify a service and roll plus fortune on a 10 plus. I have the service for personal use and can make it available to all my denizens. On a 7 to 9, I can get it personally, but at a cost. And on a miss, nobody's got it. I have a small military force of 40 denizens, which are like my Praetorian Guard. And because they're my Praetorian Guard, they are well disciplined and not unruly.
All right.
My population is filthy and unwell, so they have plus disease. They are decadent and drug stupid, so they have want idle, and they are perverse and unstable, so they have plus anxiety. Um, when they are in surplus, they party, and also when they're in surplus, their numbers grow.
Okay.
And my body, I have an enhanced cranial capacity, so I get +1 focus, but I also roll +1 on the harm move. I have an enhanced reaction, so I essentially have synth nerves. And I have enhanced pheromones, which is +1 forward to seduce and manipulate with a specific species, which would be like my people.
Okay.
And I kind of flavoring that as like the combined like post-human power of like his oration ability. He's able to make like these giant fantastic speeches.
Sounds good. All right. Xerax Harmony Prime.
Yes. We are asexual, but so that any one of us can change our sex to the queen, basically. We only have one queen, though, and she's basically her job is baby making, and there's maybe like 2 or 3 males that their job is to make sure the eggs are fertilized, and everybody else is just asexual and basically soldiers of. Our body is asymmetric. We have multifaceted eyes, just like any insect would. Um,
And clothes are
we
for
are
humanoids.
yeah, we're +1 focus, 0 suave, badass, and synthesis of +1. We are unified. All bodies share a single mind and personality. We have a planetary body that has 0 G and is no atmosphere, so we can breathe in space. We are armed, so we can manufacture like the Tyranid. I don't know if you play Warhammer 40K. Our bodies can carry weapons when we go to war. Basically, we kind of like mold our bodies, and we number in the 100,000s.
Okay. Cool. All right. Uh, next up, uh, pick you guys decide on a common known threat. This is either incursion by Lords of the Outer Dark, which are sort of Lovecraftian entities, corporate power grab, or conflict between PC factions. Um, that is up to you. Although I would prefer it if you chose corporate power grab, just because I want to focus on organization play.
That makes sense. I think we both have kind of like organization-based characters as well, so
Yeah, that might work. So let's go with that corporate.
Okay.
But who's the big baddie? What's is it like on his planet, or is it on my planet, or is it affecting both of us, or?
Oh, it's definitely going to be trying to what do I want to call them?
extra co-omnistellar or something.
Thinking ubiquity, ubiquity something.
I think omnistellar is a great
Omnistellar.
ubiquity omnistellar.
You got it. Okay. So yeah, ubiquity omnistellar is definitely going to be setting up offices and on or attempting to set up offices on both planets. Uh, and then you each choose two personal scenarios. Let me copy pasta those to chat as well.
Personal scenarios.
Yeah. So these are either projects that you're conducting, or or other persons that are like messing with you in some way.
Okay. Oh yeah, just the same thing. Yeah, okay.
So I think I've got a post-human cult in that Triomedes Aurelius is part of a post-human cult, like the order of senators and governors of Neo-Rome are all post-human constructs essentially. And can I flavor Arcane Order Vendetta as like senatorial conspiracy. Like like in my like Senate, there are people that are conspiring against me continuously,
Um,
and I have to conspire against them, and blah 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 blah. And
hmm. Well, okay. So, uh, but the post-human cult is also composed of senators. Yes.
maybe that's too much overlap.
Well, no. It is okay if the yeah. I'd be fine with it so long as the arcane order that's actually senators is like a cabal of senators who have uh, who do have uh, contacts with spirits, or are a threat from the perspective of being able to bring in beings uh, from other dimensions to cause issues, whereas the post-human cult um, would be like a separate faction with without that ability, um, but perhaps maybe more, but probably more technology.
Okay, that makes sense. Because like I would say that then there's like two major factions in the Senate, which is exactly like the Roman Senate. So it has like there's like the conservatives, which is like an arcane order, and they venerate the gods of the world and the spirits of the world. So like whatever like whatever their Mars equivalent would be and whatnot, and Jupiter and Saturn and whatnot. And then the post-human cult, which is they would be like the populists who are like we are gods.
Okay. All right. I type slow. So I want to make notes on that. Okay. Uh, and Xerix Harmony Prime.
I think Liberate Barbaric World is by since we
Okay.
kind of feel that the maybe the we're not a fan of these so-called uh, government that's on this world. We feel like it's not in our mind. We don't think it's civilized the way they're running their business.
Sure.
How dare you think have your own thoughts, right?
Wait, are these my dudes or are these the corporatists?
Um, I think that's like an outlying figure. Either you or anybody else
Mm.
that is barbaric in a way. Is like, but we're the difference between us is like we want to show you the benefits of a hive mind, like harmony. We don't want to. We're not like out to kill everybody, right? Type of thing. We're not like we understand that every species has a purpose in the world. We just want them to join the hive,
Yeah.
basically, the harmony of
Actual
our.
liberation, or liberation from your perspective, rather than the like the sloganized, "Oh, we're going to liberate them with bombs."
Right.
We're just going to liberate them from, like being individuals.
Exactly. Which means that we kind of view everybody like a barbaric world. Anything that is not us, we feel is not reached that point yet. And I think, but that also causes a different thing as well, and where we are constantly questioning our own existence and whether or not we have it right too. So that's a spirit rebellion. So not only do we try to spread when we learn things from other people, their ideas and thoughts infest the mind, the hive mind, and kind of disrupt the harmony until we each collectively figure it out and debate it to the point where we're like, okay, this is where we can handle it. Where we
And you reach like equilibrium.
Yeah, basically. So there's always this chance of like a spirit, like a rebellion, like we don't agree until we reach that equilibrium. So we're like, we debate amongst each other, like even because we're all one mind, we're like constantly asking each other questions, but we're still loyal to the queen. She says, "Go die." I mean, that's our thing. There's no question about that.
Like not even a second thought kind of thing. Throw yourselves on the pile.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it would have to be an actual rebellion.
Okay.
But it could be like a fairly small percentage that like pop up from time to time, rather than it being uh, a full on civil war where half of your population doesn't follow what you do at all.
True. That would like destroy the harmony of the collective, though. I don't know.
It's okay. Well,
Let me. Yeah. I don't.
I mean, you could choose again, or just go with it, and I won't like completely hose you over this. It's just it'll be one of the things that you have to deal with.
What's the espionage for special circumstances? What's that all about?
Um,
Curious about
that would be that you've agreed to do some sort of covert operations. Uh, pro, uh, you'd have agreed to do some sort of covert operations. Since you already have liberate barbaric world, uh, this would be operations on uh, yet another party, and it would be already be sort of like you'd already be sort of engaged with that third party.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll go with that one because we're like, I'm assuming like we convince people of our plight and they listen to us, and we like we promise to gather information for people who we think is going to help us out. And I think me and Jacob's character of Release had this kind of thing where we would spy for him, So
Like your insects, so it's probably not that hard.
Yeah.
Like you have like a little biological variant that are like the size of bees.
Right.
Well, I mean, it would be for a outside agency. It wouldn't be for Triomedis though.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Like maybe you did that at one point, and that kind of let you onto the idea of like, oh, hey, I'm like good at this. I
No.
can offer these
What's that?
services.
What's that one race that? I believe they're the ones that look up stuff. They're the ones that try to find things out.
Oh, you mean the Autotoans? Maybe they tend to be scientists. Um,
The I think we are like the Megi, Meggaia.
oh, Magai.
We're a
Uh,
guy. We're spies for them.
okay.
So we gather information for them to give to the Ascendant.
Okay.
Yeah, because they know us as people that try to find these and liberate these barbaric worlds, and we're gathering information and try to convince these people to join us. And the way we come up with ideas too is like because we go back and forth, that also helps them learn. Like we're kind of an interesting um, creature, so to speak. Does that get so we're basically like spies with them.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Uh,
Sorry.
so, uh, oh, and I just wanted to. I think I have a pretty clear idea of what uh, your society is like, and obviously have a very good overview of what Triomedes's society is like. But I am curious, to what degree do you uh, prevent your denizens from getting a hold of uh, like ultra modern technology? Like if they all had like access to the mindscape, then that would definitely be detrimental to keeping them keeping it a Roman society.
Well, it's not like an ancient Roman specifically. It's more like based off of the ideals of the Republic and Empire, right? So it's a tiered society, like by class, and depending on your class within the society, you get access to whatever up until the point where you are essentially a Roman citizen and you can have whatever you can get by your means. And that's none of my goddamn business.
Uh, so essentially, the upper classes have access to whatever their full
Their heart's
citizens and free.
desire.
Yeah, but there's like there's sort of an underclass where they're prevented from doing that unless they. Uh, is there a way to
Mm-hmm.
increase
It,
in
it, it,
caste?
it
Or?
like it like directly is related to like the Roman class system. Like there are slaves, which are essentially like those are like not fully sentient people even. Like they're not even really like they're more drones than anything. Because like I'm guessing that like in this world as a whole, slavery is essentially just not tolerated really at all. So slaves have been essentially replaced by drones and like crippled AIs. And then you have plebeians, which are newly inducted people into the society, and they fill, basic, like menial administrative roles. And then there's like citizens, which are, general purpose citizens that can do just about whatever they want. and then there are patriarchs, uh, like governmental figures, praetors, stuff like that, who have expansive governmental power, can do whatever they want, kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Um,
Oh, and there's also people that are like not like they are they are people that are not part of the society but are visiting, and they are allowed to have the things that they have, but they're really only allowed to get the most basic. Like they're allowed to keep everything they have, but they're only allowed to acquire the most basic things possible. So like food, shelter, whatnot, that they don't die.
okay.
They're not allowed to own property or hold office or vote or anything like that.
Okay. Uh, so I think as we open, um, you both your worlds detect ships um, uh, coming into orbit that have been sending a signal the whole way, and it's essentially just ads uh, for all kinds of uh, uh, random things that are for like uh, grooming uh, or software for cornucopia machines or uh, but the ads sort of encode uh, memes, especially the ones like sent to Triomedes' world, uh, that you know, the where the memes sort of say things like uh, you'll never move up in the world unless you have you know, fresh white teeth. We have the perfect toothpaste. Just use it twice, and uh, your teeth will be great. Uh, Stuff like that. Uh, Whereas the ads targeting Harmony Prime are uh, 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 you need this uh, mental augment trait in order to be a better node uh, for the collective. Uh, how can you uh, uh, how can you be a dark sub-functional node that the there's only one way to honor the collective. It's menta trait.
I don't think that Triomedes is tremendously concerned about this right now, um, because like it's Rome, and there's plenty of this going on already. He is like he's much more concerned that there is another power player in the solar system than the idea that people are going to sell things to his people.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
think.
he kind of like rolls his eyes. He's like, I think this is like the morning as he's rising. Um, he has servants that are kind of like doting over him, and they're like, you get the idea that they're like not sentients. Like they're nice, but they're essentially robots. And like there's like a big elegant, like there's big elegant marble pillars around him and like a bath. And he starts to head to the Senate to begin his day's duties.
Okay. And Xerax Harmony Prime. What is your initial reaction?
Well, the hive probably starts talking to each other about this intruder until the quieting, seeing what we should do about this thing. Debate then goes up about whether or not we should just annihilate the threat, or we're not warlike, so we're perhaps they don't know the true essence of our harmony, and if we explain it to them, maybe they'll leave us alone and not bother us anymore. So we kind of then send them. Would you say we have connected to the mindscape, or because we're insects? I don't know. We would need
Yeah.
that, or okay. So we would then randomly contact them and say, that we are interested in talking to a representative to discuss matters if they wish to understand our people more.
You get back. Hello, Xerax Harmony Prime. Greetings from the Ubiquity Omnistellar. We have come to help.
It is nice that we come across a sentient race that is so eager to lend a hand if you, but we must, there's few things that the collective needs from you. We are already at one.
We're not so sure of that. I think there are a number of we have had contact with a number of hive entities and have been essential in upgrading their functions. We can do the same for you.
Yes, again, we would be more than happy to discuss this in person.
We will send a representative uh, presently. Okay. So, Triomedes, you walk onto the Senate floor in towards your place, sort of front and center.
Mm-hmm.
I assume, right? Or do you
Yeah, he has
affect
since he's like he is an emperor that presides over a constitutional republic. Well, it's not really constitutional. It's more like they just scrap together laws every now and then and pretend they're doing something. Um, I think that this is probably a good point for me to roll my world ruler thing.
Oh yes,
which is
absolutely.
because he's entering the Senate and this is when it's what is wrong today?
Yeah.
Is everything wrong or just most things wrong? So I'm gonna roll Suave +2. Ooh, I get a 7.
All right.
So I have a surplus and a want, which is not that bad. So it's just another day in the Republic. Um, hmm. Well, I think it's that there's parties. The surplus is that there's parties, and the want is that my population is decadent and drug stupid.
Okay.
So I think that when he gets into the Senate, like they begin proceedings, and he starts to get the idea that as per usual, everyone is completely pissed off and super unhappy. So he calls for a religious holiday today that will last the next little while, and he calls it like New Saturnalia. And this
Okay.
is the beginning of New Saturnalia, and it's a everyone must drink, and there's going to be feasts and blah 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 blah. And the motion passes through the Senate, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is great! This is going to make us so popular, and everyone's going to love us."
Yeah. So
Obviously.
yeah, when you declare it, there's like applause and a chant, "In vino veritas! In vino veritas!"
Hmm. And my brothers, we shall break open the stores of wine, and we shall feast upon it for many days. For today is a day of great rejoicing.
Um, however, uh, amidst all that clamor, uh, there's sort of a hiss from uh, the Illuminates faction. They're
Hmm.
being conservative. Uh, they may believe that there's a time and a place for such things, uh, but now is not it. This is
Hmm.
this is outrageous. There's how can we uh, descend into such decadence at a time that there is an external threat to our very way of government, of being. These uh, these corporate soulless uh, uh, interlopers will certainly take advantage of this.
And I think at this
Surely,
point,
you're
he like cuts them off
okay.
because he's kind of like this Caesar-like figure a little bit, and he's like, "My brothers and fellow citizens, it should be known that we, as brave citizens of Rome, fear no enemy, and know no bounds in our enjoyment of life. If we should halt our joyous approach to the world and all of its beauties, then they would not know the fear of our might. We shall show no lesser non-citizen." And like at that point, like everyone kind of like sneers and boos when he says non-citizen. We shall show them no um, no quarter and no mind, for we are superior Romans. And I think at this point I'm gonna roll suave to calm the Senate and make them all believe that everything is totally fine and that I am the best.
All right. Uh, so yeah, that's so you're thinking seduce or manipulate?
Seduce or manipulate,
Okay.
as he's gonna do like this gigantic speech sort of thing.
Okay.
Um, I definitely get enhanced pheromones.
Sure.
But I'm gonna make an argument for also getting enhanced reaction, and that his like in speedy like synth nerves allow him to like outthink and make up these speeches on the spot. So he's essentially like he essentially like hears his opponent have a little speech and then he stops and like builds a speech of his own in his head by basically pausing time because he's so fast. And these guys are arcane order conservatives, so they're obviously not synthed up at all, and they're meager weaklings.
Okay. Let me. What I said about the synth nerves. That's time critical.
Because like the idea is that
Yeah, I can think
he
that.
is really like doing this on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see where it could help, but I don't think it's uh, uh, so critical that it would qualify for the +1. I think that.
Okay, so like flavor rather than
Yeah.
crunch there.
Okay. So, what is the uh, so I guess the reason that you're giving them to go along with this is that it shows your society's superiority.
Exactly, and I'm also trying to make my political enemies seem like tottering old men
Okay.
that are they're just being cowards.
Sounds good. Do it.
All right, I get 10.
All right. So, they're grumbling quiets pretty quickly.
Let me just look at the seduce and manipulate move specifically just to see what I can actually do on a 10 plus. Yeah, okay, so they just go along with me,
Yeah.
essentially. So I think at that point it's kind of like, you hear the chants of like, Triomades, Triomades,
Sure.
and yeah, the Senate is like, since it's the artifact, it's like this weird, like it is vaguely Roman in its appearance, but there's also like this Byzantine kind of flavor to it,
Mm-hmm.
and like it is like bigger than life, like it's like gigantic, and like even though there's like no microphones, every time a person like stands up to speak, it can like boom out to
Yeah.
the entire crowd, and like everyone can hear it.
The acoustics are just perfect. Perfect.
Like they're more than perfect.
Yeah.
Like weird, like physically impossibly great acoustics.
Cool. Down with that. Um. So, I guess let's hop back to uh, Zerax. Um. So, a right after you conclude the conversation, uh, there the ubiquity ship uh, uh, sends off some sort of smaller vessel or missile or something, um, but it doesn't read as like a nuke or anything like that. Um, Headed to like the sort of the center of your population.
Oh well, we we route it to a location where there's like maybe 10 or 20 of us, right? Like we, if it's like hidden somewhere, we move our collective to the other side of the area so that they are only in contact with a small number of us. And we, one of the males, I guess, the selected males, or the basically the speakers, we select one of us to be the speaker for the queen, and so it's just decided like we do not let them anywhere near our queen.
Okay. Um, so you just physically move away from where move most of your population away from where this is landing, or do you uh, tell them to change course, or
Yeah, we tell them to change course and tell them give them a location where to land and where we're going to.
um, they they say apologies, Great Xerix Harmony Prime. Uh, our dropship only has enough delta V to alter course by uh, 15 degrees. We will avoid we will avoid the center of your population, but uh, can only but cannot alter to the exact coordinates you have provided. Uh, uh, the closest to that location is XY, um, and it's still a little bit. It's still vaguely close to the center, but not dead center. It's like uh, sort of at the edges.
All right. Well, we work at moving the queen from that location
Okay.
further into the asteroid or somewhere else. I'm assuming more like Anson, so we like she's being moved by like an army of drones, basically,
Okay. So
to another
yeah,
location.
to sort of the deepest chambers
Yeah.
underground. Okay. Um, so you track the thing as it lands, um, and can have uh, a number of males and other drones there as it does, uh, and it I think as it's about to uh, hit ground, there's sort of uh, a light, a pulse of light, and then it comes to the comes to a uh, comes to a landing softly, and like uh, legs extend to stabilize it, um, and then as soon as those legs come down, it lifts up on those legs like it's a robot,
Uh,
um, and some manipulator arms come out of the sides. Uh, so this uh, the thing they sent was sort of like a reasonable size for like a small shuttlecraft. Like it could hold uh, several, maybe 5 or 10 uh, 5 or 10 like human-sized people, Um, but as a single bot, it's largish. It's like a good 25 feet tall, 15 feet wide.
Okay.
Um, and it says, uh, "Thank you for allowing us to land, Xerex Harmony Prime. How may we assist you?"
All right. One of the designated um, drone that is speaking for the Queen steps forward, says, "I am there. I am speaking on behalf of the collective." Um, and he just goes into our purpose as the Harmony and explain to them that we appreciate their offer to help us obtain even further harmony amongst ourselves. But we feel
Excellent.
that their presence is or whatever they have is unnecessary. That we wish to obtain these things on our own. That we understand that they may have things that may benefit us, but we have no use or no want for them unless we ourselves have come up with the technology on our own, basically.
Ah, we understand your concerns here at Ubiquity Omnicore, or Omnistellar. Uh, and uh, realize that a triumph by triumph through assistance rather than on your own efforts is in some ways not as glorious. However, the if you merely understood what could be achieved, we feel that you would we know that you would feel otherwise. Perhaps a short-term trial by a small segment of your population would be preferable.
We have no interest in these trials or any of these information that you're giving us. Um, we will obtain this information on our own by trial and error by ourselves. We will be happy to, but to, as a sign of good faith, I'm assuming that they um, we seek knowledge of other worlds. So if you have access to star charts and maps of other people, then we would be happy to exchange information for those things.
Yes, of course. We would be happy to share our uh, collected astronomical information at uh, for a reasonable acknowledgement of reputation. We will begin transmission now.
What do you mean by no acknowledgement of reputation?
Oh, so meta society. So not so like sort of the core worlds, uh, the way their economy tends to work is uh, rather than it being like a hard and fast thing of like goods and services and money in the standard sense. Um, uh, People are there's sort of like a baseline of resources that everybody who isn't like you know denizen on some barbaric colony gets, um, and then to get resources beyond that, uh, it's sort of a mix of popularity contest and uh, merit based off of what a particular person does for society or a particular group does for society, um, and it's all sort of the whole thing sort of mediated through the mindscape with people voting either uh,
So basically, they want us to give them a good survey, basically, right?
pretty much,
In a way.
yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, the collective doesn't have any issue with that. And it says after this is complete, we request that you remove yourself from our planet, from orbiting our planet.
We understand your concerns, Xerix Harmony Prime, and we are glad that our first transaction has been so successful. Uh, we will uh, decommission the ambassador unit presently, and the it like the main body sort of sinks down to the ground, the legs bending, and the lights on it go off, uh, and it starts to the metal on it starts to uh, flake off.
Like, oh,
Flake off or corrode at an accelerated rate.
oh, interesting. But are they still orbiting our planet?
Oh yeah.
I feel you misunderstood us. You will remove your ship from our planet.
Our ship is in orbit. Not on your planet. Uh,
All right.
we, do you wish us to achieve a higher orbit?
We wish you to leave altogether. As in, nowhere within broadcasting range of this planet.
We understand your concerns, and will hmm. We understand your concerns. However, uh, we and don't wish to create an incident. However, we don't believe that uh, you yet fully comprehend the opportunity uh, that is present in in and potentialized in further communications.
I
We
see.
will, however, move uh, to a higher orbit in compliance with your wishes.
And then we disconnect our connection to the hive mind, and we're discussing amongst each other. And I guess Aurelius's planet is not too far away, so I think one of us then connects with Aurelius.
Oh, you connect with me?
Yeah. Well, you're the only one we know.
That's fair. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but um, I do want to interject that you're not necessarily the only one that is known. There's a new move, check head mail, that lets you like uh, essentially establish a contact that has that is
lets you
like
roll
relevant to the
circles.
situation. Yeah.
Um,
No, but please proceed.
but I'm trying to get Jacob into the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to work together to beat up this corporation, right? No. That's the way games work, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Could be wrong. Could be wrong on that.
Well, by all means, proceed.
Well, the hive mind doesn't see any other. I mean, they didn't know anybody. There's other people there, but we would see. We know he's the leader. So,
Triomedes is like the smart other guy that you know,
yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
He's the other PC.
Yes.
right. The PC.
So I think that cuts to like Triomedes, and there are like weird holographic mummers plays happening, which are like costumed, like ancient style uh, wordless plays that are largely comedies that are kind of like body, but they're like there's all kinds of like holographic crazy future shit going on in it, and there's like a huge crowd and like people are drinking wine and partying, and he's like way up at the front of this play and he has like this large ceremonial garb thing on, like he has like golden laurels and there's like a giant golden eagle standard beside him and stuff. And he's like, Xerox Harmony Prime, my dearest friend and compatriot, what brings you to speak with me on this most fortuitous of days?
Yes, it is quite an occasion that we been requested by our queen to communicate with you on behalf of the collective. This annoying corporate entity that is bombarding us with an insane amount of ads, for lack of a better term, um, have refused to leave our airspace and seem to be um, quite hostile in their mannerisms. And you, we know you do not want to lose grip of your
Oh, Xerox, please.
citizenship.
These people are godless cowards. You should not be afraid of them. If they so concern you, simply annex what you want from them and let them be.
We have already done that, and they do not wish to leave.
Then make them.
You know that's not exactly how we work, right?
I always had such problems with the ways you work. You have no force about you. It seems you do not understand that what you do is the right thing to do.
Yes, I
Make
did.
your way in this. Perhaps it is time that you need an adversary. And at that point, he cuts off. Go away.
Go
Okay.
away.
Uh, so, um, I think the next thing that happens is uh, hmm, how would that how would that play out? You uh, you both receive sort of a knock from in the mindscape from ubiquity, um, and it's repeated, uh, and it says over and over again, "First one's free, first one's free, first one's free." Um, and I think with that, uh, let's go to break. That
All right.
Okay.
okay? Give me just a moment to set that up because I should have had it ready to go, but things. Yeah, we will be back soon. Please stick around.